Okay, so once again, as you can probably tell, I am in fact not alone. And I hear this is going up on other blogs as well, so hi to people reading Meryl's blog who are watching this. For the people who are reading Meryl's blog, I'm Oscar Sinclair. I'm a Peace Corps volunteer in Bobete, and for the last long weekend I've had guests.
Yay.
Hi, guests.
And I know that there are going to be some of Karen's friends reading this, so for those of you who are Karen's friends, I'm Meryl. Hi.
Yay. And I'm Karen. Hello, everyone.
So Karen and I got to travel up and see Oscar, who lives up here in Bobete, which is really out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's absolutely out in the middle of nowhere. Just a few other people and a few rondevals and a bunch of rats. Here.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
No.
and Karen and I traveled up here. We met in Massera. We traveled up here on a bus that probably seats about like 50? And
I'd say about 50.
And there were probably about 85 on there.
Yeah, at least 85.
It was crazy. A lot of people. We drove up and it was like a two-lane road. Sometimes it was dirt, and bus driver going really fast. And there were many times where I thought we were just going to die because it was just going to go off the cliff.
This has been a theme of this weekend.
What was the name of the God Help Me Pass?
Yeah, as you drive up to Bobete, you go through God Help Me Pass.
Accurately named.
Yeah.
Very accurately named.
Right.
And then Oscar and one of his co-workers was nice enough to pick us up in Tabatseka, and we got to four-wheel up to his site. And those of you who know me in California know that I have never been four-wheeling, and it was probably the scariest thing I've done in many, many years.
And the Bobete road is terrifying and evil when the conditions are good. But coming up, there was lightning everywhere and rain
and the tires sliding out so much.
And the tires sliding out. Yeah, it was. We survived. There was a lot of looking straight ahead and not. Yeah.
Or keeping our eyes closed.
We'll appreciate the view more tomorrow.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful view. Yeah, it reminded me of Montana four-wheel driving, so I quite enjoyed the trip myself.
But the official reason I had guests was that we did a big outreach trip to Masaling Secondary School, which is the one non-primary school in the Bobete area. So there was a lot of confusion as to what exactly we would be doing before then, and I think we found out when we got to the school that we would be doing the session on relationships.
Right. Because we did not feel comfortable doing this session on punishment.
Yes. There was a session on abuse, which the session was basically how to tell kids that they're probably not being abused is probably
for their own good.
Yeah, punishment for something they've done wrong. So we didn't want to do that session. So we ended up with with relationships, which was basically sex ed.
Right. But we were not allowed to. We were not allowed to tell them to. Abstinence is the only form of birth control that we were allowed to preach.
This was a Catholic school.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, we did a lot of time for questions, and these being 16, 17, 18-year-olds, you can imagine what the questions were, which we answered honestly, which led to some unbelievably awkward moments. I can't speak for the other two, but for me, I had one boy ask me, Sir, if I am if my business it is swollen, and I do not have a girlfriend, is there anything that I can do? And my somewhat joking reply of, you can take matters into your own hands, wasn't really understood. So then we went into that for a while. And it was probably one of the most awkward moments I've ever had in my life. But, oh well. It was fun.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. I was going to say the outreach, though, it was really encouraging. I mean, another out in the middle of nowhere place, and talking to kids who had questions, who had a lot of questions about HIV and about the future. And so some of them were actually wanting to and excited to be peer educators, to teach other kids about HIV and AIDS, and maybe change what's going on here in Lesotho, because many, many people are sick and are dying every weekend. Every weekend there's a funeral.
Yeah. It was encouraging to have that many kids want to know that much information and be willing to ask the questions and be open about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they get a lot of straight information.
Yeah. Well, it's just I live in the middle of nowhere, and so the culture here is very conservative and doesn't really do a lot with answering questions or having a lot of information. So this was one of the first times where I really was able to talk about those things to kids. So it was really encouraging just for me to be up there.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to be working with that school more as time goes on. So it was a good introduction. You know, I'm the crazy white guy that answers questions about masturbation. That's awesome. It's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It was a really good day, and the rest of the weekend has been great.
Yeah, it's been nice. It's been nice to see the mountains, the highlands, to become a Highlander for.
Oh yeah.
Bobete's at about 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
And Oscar took us up a mountain and took us a little higher, I think.
Hiking
so
and
it was fun.
Yeah. It's just been great to have people here.
Yeah.
I live in the middle of nowhere. I have no friends.
he does live in the middle of nowhere.
Really nowhere.
But he does have friends.
Yeah.
Oscar lives in a mansion. He lives in a traditional rondeval that's probably about 15 feet across, and a really cool thatched roof that keeps falling in
Yeah.
when it's really windy, so there's holes in the
A
roof.
few holes.
Yeah.
They've gotten better.
Yeah.
And a rat in the kitchen. What I'm gonna do?
Yeah. As part of the roof escapade, I temporarily moved to a different house for about a week, and in my absence, rats moved in. Yeah. So that's the new drama with Oscar's house, is killing the damn rats.
And the roof was fixed, but even as we've been here, we see a few more little beginnings of holes in it. So hopefully it'll get better. Hopefully it'll get fixed.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
So it's been a great weekend, and we thank Oscar for having us. Tomorrow, Karin and I get to take the wonderful bus ride, first four-wheeling and then bus ride down into Maseru.
And winding road.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Terrifying road, but it's been great.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, Oscar.
No, it's been good to have you, and we'll get this put up tomorrow, and I'll be guest hosting Meryl's blog for a day.
I don't believe anything he writes about me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I'll write that you're a horrible, awful human being. Okay. Anyway.
All right.
See y'all
All
later.
right. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.